Hello, it's Jay with Inspire Me with Jay. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about our guest. She's phenomenal. She survived a plane crash. She survived a car accident with a semi truck and rolled a few times. This transformed her life. And she also is a life coach, a podcaster, and she's an author of 11 books. I'm talking about Diane Cunningham Ellis, and she's up right now. Welcome to Inspire Me with Jay. This is a podcast to inspire, uplift, show forth the love of God, and help usher in the spiritual awakening. Welcome to Inspire Me with Jay. I'm your host, Jay Spillers, and I have a guest today, Diane. Diane, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today, Jay?
I'm doing great. So you had a couple of uh, events where you almost died, but you were miraculously saved. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah. This one of the most recent ones was earlier this year. I was in Colorado Springs for a mastermind event, and there was three of us in a car and driving down the road towards getting dinner, and then we got sideswiped by a very large semi truck, and we did three spins around. One of those was hitting off the front of the semi, and then we finally landed in the middle of against the concrete barrier, and slammed into that. And we were basically very, very, very grateful that none of us were injured, none of us died. We didn't flip over to the other side of the road. And I just feel like it was miraculous. It was God. It was inspired, and it was a defining moment for the three of us, because we just really felt like, wow, this really, it's a miracle that we all walked away.
So, I mean, did it almost look like a movie or something where, you were like spinning around and everything?
Yeah, of course, when you're in it, you can't see it, but it was fast. It was loud. There was a lot of smoke because the semi truck was braking. Once he realized he was hitting us, there was smoke and a lot of grinding of metal as we were doing that flip. And then, yeah, it was one of those moments where time condenses, and you just think, and then we all had a lot of shock, a lot of PTSD after, a lot of neck. My neck was, my head was hitting the window, and it was hitting the window in the back seat, and I was kind of watching this out the side, and then we all just made sure we were, are we all okay? And we had to figure out how to get. We were next to the fast lane, so our car landed next to the fast lane, and we knew we were in very much danger sitting there. And so then the next step of the experience was basically getting out of the car and getting across the highway to safety.
So, did you walk away without any scratches then?
I had a couple, basically a few just scratches, and then a sore neck, and that was really what we all ended up with.
Did the car explode or anything?
No, the car, it was totaled. It was a rental car, and it was totaled. And so that was interesting. But no, it did
Mhm.
not explode. Yeah, we were really lucky and grateful that it did not.
Did you feel or sense any kind of presence when you were there, like spiritually speaking, or?
I mean, I'm a faith-based, I believe in God, and see God in all aspects of my life. So I was praying I saw my life flash before me during those
Mhm.
few moments, but afterwards I was just filled with immense gratitude, and really uh, just gratefulness to a sense of purpose. I guess I felt a renewed sense of fire and purpose, that it wasn't my time, it wasn't our time, and kind of that thought of there's no time to waste. Go do what you're called to do. Go teach, lead, coach, speak, whatever whatever our calling is, and just go do it. Don't make excuses why you can't do it.
So you sort of walked away with a greater sense of mission and purpose.
Definitely.
And this wasn't really that long ago. Did you say it was this last May?
Yeah, it was May 9th. It was May 9th. Yeah, it's really pretty close.
Have you changed anything in your life since that point?
Well, this is kind of related, but not. When I got home from that trip, my husband and I got a new vehicle. It has nothing to do, that wasn't related to that trip, but we did get a new car. And it's been interesting, Jay, because I've had a lot of fear. And I wasn't even driving. I've had a lot of fear with driving. I have a lot of fear of being on the road, as you can imagine. And so I guess I'm a lot more aware of my mortality since that accident, versus kind of just bebopping around and, like we do, and when we haven't come into a really a close call like that.
And you've been a life coach and everything. You were a life coach before this event, weren't you?
Oh yeah, I've been coaching, and before that I was a counselor. So I've been doing both of those things for, gosh, over 25 years.
So, I mean, your life has kind of had a good sense of direction even before it happened.
Yeah, so this just was more of a double down on the things I'm already doing. And I'm knit together really well with those women that I was in the car with. We have a private group on Telegram. It's called Semi Survivor Sisters. And so we, kind of made it into a bonding moment after that. But yeah, I am wholeheartedly committed to living my purpose. And when things like this happen, which I've had a couple different ones over the years, it's just a reminder that, yeah, today's the day, that today's all we have, one day at a time. And I'm grateful. I'm really grateful for it.
Well, did the other two women in the car have pretty much the same feeling you did, that they felt like it was a divine protection or something like that, and a greater sense of purpose out of it?
Yeah, we talk about it a lot, actually. The three of us, we meet often. We talk about, I mean, not all the time, because we have other things to talk about, but we do talk about it. We talk about that. We say often that this didn't happen to us. This happened for us. This happened for us, and that it's not something it's a gift. We believe it was a gift that we all walked away. We believe that in each of them have their own, spirituality and beliefs, but we all internalize that as really a calling on our life, a calling on our life.
When you said your life flashed before your eyes, were you thinking about like different moments with your family or different things you've done, or what was in your mind at that moment?
Yeah. It's funny to think back now. It was really, it's like I can't grab onto one specific memory, Jay, because time erases some of that. I think if you would have asked me this, May 12th, I would have had a different answer. But just, yeah, probably my husband, probably my parents, my sisters, my grandchildren, but in those few moments, yeah, I'm not, it feels kind of like a dream, kind of blurry, like a blurry dream when I think back on it.
And you also said you were in a plane crash, or your plane almost crashed at some point, at a different
Yeah,
point. What was that
I,
about?
I sure was. I was in a plane crash on a small plane in 2011. And so now I can say I've survived a plane crash and a semi truck.
Mhm.
So yeah, my ex-husband was flying a plane and he was a pretty new pilot, and we were landing. This was the first time I'd flown with him, and we were landing at a little airport. And as we went down, there was a wind gust, and we were almost to the ground. I would say maybe 20 feet above the ground. But the wind gust hit us just right, and it knocked the plane off to the right, and so then our wing, the wheel, sorry, the wheel hit a runway sign, and so that catapulted the plane. Basically, we started sliding across. We slid across the runway on the belly of the plane, and then across a field, and then we landed what's called nose up. We landed nose up, and then the plane dropped. And so that was another frightening moment in my journey of, okay, when we finally stopped, when we landed back on the ground, I looked, I thought, am I dead? Am I dead? Am I bleeding? Is he dead? Bleeding and no blood, no dead. And then it was like the first instinct, we need to get out of this plane. We need to get out of this plane because that one I really thought might blow up. I really thought it might blow up, but it didn't. It was totaled. It was totaled, and so that was an expensive lesson as well. And we both walked away from that basically unscathed. Just a lot of soreness, and we had to hitch a ride home because we didn't have a car. We had to call a friend, dial a friend.
Which one was more jarring between the plane crash and the car crash with the semi?
I would say in my world they were equal. They were equal. They were, two different very large metal boxes, so to speak, that were, and I just remember this feeling of kind of clenching. You're just clenching, you're bracing for impact, and this feeling of powerlessness, of lack of control. I couldn't do anything. I wasn't driving in either one of these. And even if I was driving, the person that's driving or flying, there's not much you can do at that moment. So yeah, they were both pretty radical experiences in my life.
Are you looking for a devotional that will radically transform your walk with Christ and revolutionize the world at the same time? Check out my latest book, Walk as Children of the Light. This book focuses on everything you need to be fully equipped and discipled in Christ: prayer, meditation, scripture, love, gratitude, and much, much more. Available on Amazon, 5-star rating. Were they like two events you think to kind of refocus you, like make sure you stay on track?
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that everything happens for a reason, and often I don't understand it. But yeah, I both of these really refocused me on my life mission, which is, serving women and coaching and speaking and writing books.
So I think you said that you had been sober for a number of years. What initially got you to become sober, and how did you go down the path of, alcoholism or?
Yeah, I'd love to talk about that. Thanks for asking. So yeah, I've been sober for 10 years, and that was another, obviously that was not a car or a plane, but it was a rock bottom. It was a rock bottom moment. And I've been really public about it because I believe that story has helped hundreds of people too. In fact, I wrote a book. I have a book series about it. It's called Rock Bottom is a Beautiful Place. And I do believe that now. So I got sober in 2013, And before that, I was I was a functional alcoholic, meaning I was still had a business. I wasn't in jail. And but I was drinking every night. I was drinking every night, Jay, and that was getting more and more unhealthy. We'll just call it that. Getting more and more unhealthy, getting more and more consequences to that. And really, I was living a double life. I was living a double life, and I believe that there's a lot of people that struggle with that, struggle with addiction, struggle with, in various forms. Sometimes it's not alcohol. Sometimes it's something that you can't even tell. You can't see it. So yeah, I'm very committed to my 12-step program. I'm immersed in recovery, and I'm grateful, very grateful for it.
Well, what was the breaking point for you that you said, I have a problem and I need to go get something changed here?
Well, my last drunk, I drank a liter of tequila all by myself, and that's enough to, mess you up. It wasn't pretty. It was not pretty, and I think I had a hangover for a couple days, and that was the end for me. And I mean, there was a series of events, Jay, leading up to that, with different alcohol experiences. But that was the last. That was my moment of. In the 12-step rooms, we call it incomprehensible demoralization. It's one of the phrases in our book, and it's that moment where you're disgusted with yourself. You can't even believe, like, you've gone way below anything you'd ever even imagine you would do. And I was my family saw me doing this. My parents, my nieces, people I love saw me in this drunken stupor, and that was enough to shake me into recovery. And I thought my life was over, and yet it was just starting. It was just beginning. So, yeah, it was definitely a life transformation inspired moment.
Please like, subscribe to this channel, and share everywhere. Thank you. Did you start going to like Alcoholics Anonymous for 12 steps?
I sure did. Yeah, I'm a proud member of Alcoholics Anonymous.
Are you still pretty active with the AA?
I am.
So in terms of like your life coaching, what do you do with life coaching?
Yeah, I have a mastermind for Christian women. It's called Braver Together Mastermind. And then I do Voxer coaching with other clients. I help women create books and create courses. I help them create retreats. So I love helping Christian women entrepreneurs start or scale their business. And that's really been great for me over the years. And I have a background as a counselor. And so I get to use those skills all the time too, with mindset and teaching them how to market themselves.
You still do counseling?
No, I don't have my license anymore. I actually, that's another defining moment in my life. I had a client that killed himself, and I went through a legal battle and a lawsuit. So I lost that. My license, and I fought for 4 years worth of a lawsuit. But on the other side of that, I had to start over, and I started over in coaching. And so a couple of years ago, I thought I might go back to get my counseling career back. And then I realized I didn't need to do that. I was exactly where I needed to be.
And you've written like a number of books as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I've written 11.
What are some of the books about?
Yeah, so one of them is, a couple of them are like business books. This one is called The Inspire Business Toolkit. I'm actually redoing that one. I have that one I mentioned called Rock Bottom is a Beautiful Place. It's a compilation book with women sharing their stories from rock bottom. I have one called Brave Women Connect. I have one called The Art of Brave Living. I have one called Inspired Women Succeed. So most of them are women focused, sorry, but they are a lot of inspiration and then business training. I'm working on a new book actually in the last few days about masterminds and why they're helpful for people.
Yeah, I've heard about masterminds. They talk about it a lot. If you ever listen to like Tony Robbins and a lot of the positive groups, talk about forming a mastermind. I think Napoleon Hill had talked about it back in some of his books.
Yeah. Are you in one?
I'm not in one, no. Well, I think I have some Facebook groups that are masterminds. I don't know if they use that title though.
Yeah, I've been hosting them since 2015, sorry, for 9 years. And so, yeah, like I have 13 women in mine right now. It's really growing and it's good. And these are my high level clients. And it's a 6-month commitment. I've had it anywhere from a year to 6 months. I've done everything. I've done every variation of how to do a mastermind. So I'm realizing now that one of the things I want to do next is help other people create their own masterminds and help them get their masterminds launched.
What do you usually do in a mastermind?
Yeah, so each of them I'm in 3 and I have mine. So each of them are a little bit different. My group, we get together in person twice a year. We have kind of, I would call it a retreat, a live retreat. We have a group coaching kind of group mastermind call once a week. We have, they get access to all my trainings and courses, but really the power of the group is the synergy. The power of the group is the shared ideas, which is different than a course. So we come in together and we all brainstorm ideas and what's working and what's not working. And then we get the power of the group to share ideas and help each other.
Have you had a lot of breakthroughs for yourself personally with your masterminds?
I have. I've those 3 women that were in the car accident with me are in a mastermind with me. And I never would have met them. They live, one lives in Ireland. So, I mean, one of the great things about masterminds is you're going to be meeting people that you would never meet and kind of be connecting at I call it a higher level conversation. So you're going to be talking about things that are much deeper, much more, you're going to talk about your money, your numbers, your clients, your family. You're going to really get deep and intimate with people over a long term. So yeah, they've been completely transforming for my life, which is why I want to go help other people have the same experience. We just wanted to end our conversation and thank you so much, Jay, for having me on your podcast. I would love to just end with this quote: catch on fire with enthusiasm and people will come from miles to watch you burn. It's by John Wellesley. And I just love that quote because I believe that we are called to make a difference. I believe that our story matters. And I believe in brave. And so one brave at a time is how we do it. And if you want to find me, I'm at dianecunningham.com and I can't wait to see you there. And again, thanks, Jay, for having me on.
I spent several years of my life stressed, anxious, and depressed. I needed to find something that would make my life work. For me, that was meditation. With meditation, I found the peace of mind that I was looking for. I found the happiness. And I found a way to improve every area of my life, my emotional life, my spiritual life, my relationships. I was able to discover things about myself. I can give you the tools to meditate. I will walk you through the process and hold your hand. Whether you're a beginner to meditation who's never meditated, or whether you're someone who's tried meditation and it just never seemed to work, we can make it work. Meditation is something that everyone can do, and I can show you how. Check out my course on meditation.